Guilt is a significant emotion, especially in EFT, because one of the first things I learned on my EFT journey is to get the guilt out of the way before you even start with anything else, because guilt is the only emotion where we can't put the blame on something or someone. Like, I'm angry at something or someone, I'm sad because of something or someone, but guilt is something that we turn against us, feeling that we did or said something we shouldn't have. The problem with that is that it usually creates a block in terms of healing or getting the things we want, because we feel that we either have to sabotage ourselves or punish ourselves about the things we did and feel guilty about. So let's do some EFT tapping to shift the energy of guilt. So even though I feel so guilty for something I did or said or didn't do, I feel I should have done things differently. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I feel consumed by guilt, it feels that this will never feel any better. And maybe I even think I deserve to feel guilty, because what I did was horrible. I deeply and completely love and accept myself and these emotions in my body. I feel so guilty. I feel guilty. I feel so guilty. Maybe I even feel horrible, disgusting, ashamed. Maybe it's hard to think of what happened. Or maybe it's a situation where I know I did the right thing, but still feel guilty. Maybe I set a boundary with someone. Maybe I said no and someone was upset. So now I'm carrying all of this guilt, like a hermit crab is carrying their shell. And in addition to the guilt, there's a lot of other emotions. Part of me feels that I deserve to feel this way. This is my rightful and justified punishment. Maybe I don't want to feel guilty, but I can't not. Maybe I feel that I'm responsible for other people's well-being. And so I feel guilty if they're not feeling well. All of this guilt situation in my mind and in my body. So how many years exactly do I need to carry this for? 1 year? 10 years? Until I die? In the afterlife? Maybe all of the future generations should feel guilty too, for a crime they didn't commit. Or maybe this guilt is here to teach me something. Maybe it's here to say, learn from this, through this guilt pain. so you don't encounter such a situation again. Or maybe I think that I'm a horrible person for what I did, and I deserve a miserable ever after. What if the other person, if someone is involved, once told me that they're completely cool with what happened? Then should I still feel guilty? Or would it be okay? Guilt usually happens when I transgress one of my rules, when I don't respect an important blueprint or set of values. So maybe I feel guilty for screaming at my child because I have a rule that said, you shall never get upset at your child. Maybe I feel guilt about breaking up with someone because one of my rules is you cannot hurt someone else's feelings. Maybe it's time I revisit, out of curiosity, some of these rules. Maybe they are applicable in most situations, but not in all situations. Maybe I transgressed a rule that's not even mine, but that my family gave me. Here is what I do know. With absolute certainty, in that moment where I did or said something, I was in a situation that was hard. Maybe I was shocked or scared. Maybe I was exhausted and didn't have coping resources anymore. Maybe I was angry or triggered. Or maybe I was feeling amazing. And I did what I thought I should do, or I did the only thing I could do. It's easy to say, don't scream at your kids when you're not overwhelmed and exhausted and resourceful. It's easy to say, don't be wicked or vicious. But maybe attack was the only defense I knew. What if someone else with the same life experience and emotions as me would have done exactly the same? Because you can only act accordingly to your level of healing, resilience, understanding. So maybe I wish I had done something differently. Maybe the person I am today would have been able to do something differently. But back then, that wasn't the case. The very fact I'm feeling guilt shows I have evolved. It shows that there are things I no longer want to do. Or it shows me places I need to heal. What if this guilt was inevitable in my story and circumstances, but truly evolving and making things right is letting go of the guilt. I also choose to see something else. If I feel guilty about something I said to someone, for example, maybe it's because I think that they are incapable of getting over it. So I'm diminishing them in some way. My guilt keeps a toxic bond between us. And freeing them starts with freeing myself. It also lets go of some of their weight. So, for the sake of them and myself, I choose to feel even 1% less guilty for now. In all of the parts of my body and mind. Okay.